Hello, everyone. We're finally live. Today is Thursday, May 4th, and it is time for our wonderful, awesome interview with our awesome, um, inspirational guest today. But before you get to meet my guest, I'd like to take care of a few housekeeping rules. So if you are joining us live, because this is being streamed to my profile, also to my Facebook Wow Club group, and also to the YouTube channel. So if you are joining us live, there's a little echo here. We may be having some techie problems, but we'll take care of those. Indicate in the comments below hashtag live, or if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. And do tell us where you're coming from. I love to know where everybody is coming from. As you know, I'm in Mexico, and my guest today is in Alaska. We met online, but without any further ado, I want you to meet my wonderful, awesome guest, Mariah Hudson. How are you, Mariah?
Hi, good morning.
Where are you now? Are you in your wonderful state of Alaska?
I am in Valdez, Alaska.
Now, Alaska, were you born in Alaska?
Oh no, I was born in Southern California.
Wow. So, how did I'm always intrigued by where people are living. Why Alaska? Can you tell me a little bit about that? Probably.
Well, it was not ever a place that I wanted to go or visit or even on the map, but my wife of 35 years got real sick and I had to quit my job, and we needed a place to move where I could care for her. And I have a son that lives here in town, and he had a mobile home open, so we came up here. So that's how I wound up.
Well, so that's a story in itself then. Okay,
That
and
was, yeah, that was an adventure.
yeah, I'm sure that was an adventure. So I know that when we met, you were going through some difficult challenges, obstacles. You were trying to pursue your goal. Tell me, before you and I met, what were you trying to do? I mean, I know that you lost your beloved wife of 35 years. Tell me, from that time to the time that you and I met, what was happening in your life?
Well, we were together 35 years. And when I lost her, it was March of 2020. So it was the very beginning of COVID.
COVID, right?
And in Alaska, that lasted 2 years because they kept locking us down and locking us down.
Okay.
And I was going through this grief, and I knew I had to do something with my life because otherwise I just wanted to die.
Right.
So I started looking at things and trying to put my life back together, and started listening to a lot of inspirational speakers on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and tried to decide, what am I going to do? I'm alone, I'm isolated, and what am I going to do?
Right.
So I started looking at different programs and actually wound up in one that was really good. And that's how I wound up in Wow Club. I met you, thank gosh, because I didn't have a clue. I knew what I wanted to do. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to facilitate it. I didn't even know how to do Zoom.
You didn't know that.
Yeah, I learned that here too.
Right, exactly. We have a little bit of an echo, but that's okay. Let me see. We have some people who have joined us, and we have Magda here who says, "Hello, ladies." We just want to acknowledge the people who are with us. One of the things I forgot to tell you, because somebody lives in Arizona and is known as a Facebook user. Above the video, there's a little strip that says StreamYard. Would you click on that, please, and allow StreamYard to use your name so you can interact with us so we know who you are? Otherwise, you come across as Facebook user, and we do want to interact with you. And then we have Patty Sanders from Texas. Okay,
Hi,
so
Patty.
So, and hello to my amazing friends Mariah, Hudson, and Lucy. Okay, so yes, so but you knew what you wanted to do, right? You said you knew, but the how and but you do. What was the goal that you had in mind?
Well, other than being with BJ, which took up 35 years of my life, which was really good, back in the early 1980s, there was a massive personal growth and development trainings,
Right.
and people were doing all kinds of improvements. And I did one from a friend of mine, and it was transformational for me. After I did the first one, I got dressed up and went to a friend's house and knocked on her door. And she opened the door and she said, "What in the hell happened to you?" I said, "I don't know." She said, "You look radiant."
Hmm.
And I went to do the next one. And then I eventually was on staff with that training for 3 years. And there was a friend of mine that very professional man came in a suit, for crying out loud, to a 3-day weekend. And he was really stuck. We were trying to help him have a breakthrough and he couldn't. The trainer kept walking around the room, trying this, trying that. And I finally got this idea. And I went up to this gentleman that I knew and I said, "Can I put my hand on your heart?" And he said, "Yes." And I put my hand on his heart for a minute and then I drew it back. And as I drew it back, he crumbled. He said, "What did you do to me?"
Wow.
And he's sobbing like a child. And I thought, that's what I want to do. And I
Wow.
was very clear on that because that feeling never left me all those years. That's what I want to be, a transformational coach.
Right.
And I did one short period that I had some really good results. Unfortunately, life didn't sustain me at that point, and I got caught back in I'm not good enough, I don't know how, the imposter syndrome,
Right.
and never followed up on it. So
Right.
I thought, now with Zoom and being international, if I can do these trainings online, I think there's some people I can help on how I recovered from my grief.
Right.
And you don't recover from grief. You can heal and move on and do more.
Right.
But the critical part for me is when I came into WOW, and anybody that's been around a while knows that you didn't get to see my face, you didn't get to talk to me. I wasn't going to do any of that. I was just going to listen. And then Lucy had her camera confidence course. And I thought, okay, we're going to try this. The first course was tough. It was tough, and I didn't like it at all. So when it came around again, I did it a second time. And that really helped me start to figure out who I was. Because when you lose a partner that long, you don't know who you are afterwards.
Right.
And as I started to do that and try this out and try that out and try to see how this looks and get the feedback from the group, one of the one of the main reasons I successfully launched is because of the people and the trainers in WOW.
Wow.
They had to slowly coach me out and take the tape off of the camera. And that took about 2 months just to do that. And that kind of went back and forth for a while.
Yeah, I remember clearly you never turned your camera on. It was amazing. It was like we knew you were there, we knew you were listening, but
Yep.
you wouldn't turn that camera on. So can you tell me or us about a specific moment in the program, the Launch Lab program, because that's what we're talking about, folks. Those of you who are not in the Launch Lab program, you may be in the WOW Club, and there are members in the WOW Club, WOW Club, who are part of the Launch Lab program that we have, and Mariah is one of them. So, can you tell me about a specific moment, Mariah, in the program when you realized that you had overcome a fear or an obstacle that had been holding you back? A specific moment?
Well, yeah, there's a lot to learn in order to do this. And
Hmm.
there were pieces that needed to come together. And that's one of the things that you really got down deep in Launch Lab. Okay, so you get stuck on this one piece. And then you were able to go and either go to question and answer period,
Hmm.
or you could go to one of the videos.
Right.
And the support is incredible. That's how I got here, is from the support of the
Okay.
WOW group, the Launch Lab, and the trainers,
Okay.
because they
So,
kept going, go a little further, Mariah, go a little further.
okay. So,
And
was
they
that
did.
constant support then? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And if I got too far out there and they didn't see me on camera for a while, then they'd start contacting me directly. What can we do? What can we help you with? How can we help you get unstuck?
Right. I'm going to ask you a question, and I hope you can answer this. If you were to describe your mindset before and after completing the program, um, you know, um, can you describe that mindset before and after you joined the Launch Lab program? What changed? What changed?
Well, I think before I was to a place I knew what I wanted to do, but I had no idea how to do it, nor did I have any idea that I could do it.
Hmm.
And
Right.
I think after Launch Lab, not only can I do it, I can do it better than I did before.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for that. Actually, we have Magda here who agrees that the support is amazing indeed. And Patty, Patty is always so helpful. She's one of our, she's one of our coaches. She helps with the techie side of things, and look at her do her work here. Please go here to give StreamYard permission to see your Facebook name, and here meaning streamyard.com/Facebook. She's always working for everybody's good here. Therese Parkin, who is a great friend of mine, is here, and she says hello from Long Beach. So, okay, good. So I want to know because I mean, you went from hiding behind that camera. Hardly, we'd ask you a question, you'd say yes, no, and nothing more, and and you basically didn't want to participate, but part of you did because you would creep out every once in a while, and I'd see you help other people. That's what you would do. I'd say, "Look at Mariah. She won't. How can I help her?" But no, there she is helping somebody else. So you were on top of things. You were listening, but you were not showing your face, and you weren't directly participating. I want to know what specific moment where you decided, you know what, I'm coming out and I'm going to participate. I mean, there's had to be an epiphany there, an epiphany moment there.
Well, I think that one of the things was that I had to pick a launch date. That was big.
Uh-huh.
I had worked really hard on branding myself and that I didn't look like other people that
Yeah,
were doing business. And Lucy and I had a long conversation about that, and she gave me permission just to be who I was and wear my baseball hat.
absolutely.
And that was a big one. And I also did a Lisa Nichols course right before I launched, and that really grounded me on my ability to be here. And like people in Launch Lab and WOW have always said, be present,
Right.
play full out, exercise your get up muscles. And I finally got up because I played full out.
Right. That's an interesting because I just want to say what Diane Winter is a good friend of yours. She actually joined the WOW Club at the same time, and Diane has gone in a different direction because she's pursuing her goals in a different way. And she's saying here, yes, the Wild Club is very helpful, generous, kind, and I have watched Mariah grow and become a competent professional. And sure enough, because I remember at the beginning when I first met you, I saw you help Diane. You were gun ho. You were going to help her with her techie issues, even though you didn't know what you were doing. You were going to help her. It was amazing. And Patty says, and Mariah Hudson has been an amazing team leader. Let's talk about that, Mariah. Let's talk about you go from hiding behind the camera, being very afraid of coming out, and I want to get back to Lisa Nichols in a minute, but you not only join Lisa Nichols for 3 days and want to be on the hot seat, and, and in our program we have accountability partner program, and we have the team leader program, and here you become a team leader. What? Tell me, how did that happen? How does that happen to somebody like you? Tell me what it is.
That's a good question. I think that Eden asked me if I'd be willing, and I thought one of the things that I'm able to do, that it's a good quality in me, is I can ground people. I can center them and calm them down.
Yeah.
And I decided, well, if that's what I do, then I should be able, if that's what they're expecting a team leader to do, I can do that. So I wound up with 3 other women. We've been together through a launch lab and into the next one, and they're doing great.
And that's because they have a good team leader who cares and loves them and who supports them, right?
I do.
So Diane says that is very true. I was floundering and she was extremely helpful. She's referring to you helping her on her way. And of course, Patty says, yes, we saw her awesomeness. We did. We did. You were, as much as you were hiding and fearful, we could tell because you were so part of it that you were squeezing out in on the sides and helping people. So we could see the potential. We could see the potential in you. Can you talk about any specific techniques and strategies that you've learned in the program that really have helped you become more confident and perhaps feel that you're going to be more effective in your coaching practice?
Oh, there's so many to pick from.
Hmm.
Camera confidence was very vital in being able to accomplish this. And I had to do it twice. Once was not enough. I had to do it the second time to figure out what I was doing. But I think that the support in being able to ask your questions and having the support of the group in asking anything,
Hmm.
they're always available for whatever your next road hump is. One of the things I used to like to do is called vaulting over the BBs on the kitchen floor. That's where I spent my time, vaulting over the BBs. And they'd say, okay, Mariah, step back. We're here. What is it that you need? And sometimes I didn't know what I need.
Right.
But you guys were always there to kind of redirect me and refocus me. Well, maybe you need to go over and look at this one. So there is so much in Launch Lab and Wow Club. I mean, I learned how to do Zoom. That's critical in this business. That's a training.
That's wonderful. I want to go back to the 3-day course that you just took with Lisa Nichols, who happens to be one of my mentors and obviously a very important a mentor for you. Also, can you share what prompted you to ask to be on the hot seat? I mean, there you are, afraid to be on the camera. You've taken how to become confident in front of the camera. Now you want to be on the hot seat with Lisa Nichols. I mean, really, what insights?
Well, yeah, that was pretty amazing because I think that my growth in Launch Lab and the Wow Club grew to a point that I knew I can do it. I can do my trainings. I can help people with their grief. But I wasn't willing to be out there. And I thought, okay, you've been dragging your feet on this for 8 months and it's time to commit. So when I went into the Lisa Nichols training, I did play full out.
Mm-hmm.
I did the homework, I interacted, I posted, I volunteered, and I volunteered for the hot seat, which is pretty amazing.
And where did you learn all that? Where did you learn to do
Oh,
all that?
oh, gee, I wonder where.
I wonder where.
The only reason I could do that is you had built my confidence to the point that it was the next step.
Wow, thank you so much. Right. Wow, wow, wow. So, there were so many, there's so many coaches. We have, we try to take care of everybody and everybody's needs. Were there any particular people within the program who played a real, I mean, thank you for saying that I helped you, feel confident in front of the camera. It was exactly why I do that bonus class, which I love so much because it's one of the most frightful things to have to do if you're doing business online, to get in front of that camera. And for some of us, it's like, where is that camera? You
That's right. Take that tape off.
Right. So, are there any particular people that you'd like to thank, perhaps, that have helped you?
Oh, absolutely. Athena is the organizer. She's the structure. She's going to get clear
Hmm.
before she's going to let you go, or she's going to stay on you to get clear.
Right.
And she kind of puts all the pieces together. And Mike and I did some one-on-one training on how to set up my Facebook page and what it needed to look like.
Hmm.
And that was amazing. And Eden is the emotional support jewel of the group.
Absolutely. So thank you so very much. Esmeralda's here. She says, hi, great progress, truly, truly amazing. It's really nice, Magda, Diane, Patty, Esmeralda, we've all been watching you. And so we all have seen that transformation, and we're all in really awe of you. Um, to say the least. I am so proud of you. You, and as you well know, you have branded yourself. You are, you have that lady that shows up with her beautiful scenery of Alaska behind her, and you now have a smile on your face too. I love it.
Yeah, that's been recent, just the last few months. I remember the first time I was smiling, I was talking to Diane on Messenger. And I thought, what's that?
Oh, wow. This is so cool. So, what did you learn about yourself and your abilities during this whole process of launching your coaching program? I mean,
Uh, that if I don't get frustrated and take the time, I can actually learn almost anything.
wow.
I learned something new this week that I've been looking for the last month, and it was a tape that Eden did on how to add music to Zoom.
Right.
And I told Magna this morning, I said, look out. I can add music to my thing, and people are really going to need a Kleenex box this time.
Because she's coming up. So Diane says, I'm clapping. She's clapping. Hooray. And she loves that smile of yours. We all do. So as you begin to build your coaching practice, because now the foundation is there, would you say you have a solid
Yes,
foundation?
yes,
You say that's what the Launch Lab program did for you, gave you
yes.
those steps to establish a strong foundation for your business. What are you, what are your thoughts about going forward now? I mean, I know that you only launched once, and you know you can do it because you proved to yourself that you can. Um, you know, what are your intentions from here on?
Well, I'm going to do a beta launch in June, which will be the second one. And
Now,
then,
can you explain to
uh,
our people what that means, beta launch, as opposed to your first launch?
when, yeah, when you start your first program, you do it in a safe environment with your accountability people. Make sure everything works and nothing's broken and you can get past that first one. The second one is with a wider group to run through and make sure that it's what you need to have and you get the feedback and the support of the group and the experience. And then I'll probably go public in July. And the one workshop is going to go into two very rapidly because I support lesbian widows who are dealing with their grief. The other part of that is I'm going to do a general population of supporting people through their grief.
Okay.
So it's going to go in two directions at once. But I got to get this one down and get past the beta, make sure it looks good, and then probably go public in July.
Wow. Sorry.
And I couldn't have done that 2 months ago. I mean,
Well,
you guys really had to convince me that I could even do a test launch.
I might add, Mariah, I know how humble you are, but of all the people who launched the first time, how many people were present at your first launch?
I believe it was 13.
13 people. You have more people than anybody else. Why do you think that is, Mariah?
Because people support me.
Because you support people also. All right. I do believe that everybody felt that you were there to support them. So, it's a give take all the time. And we have Flor Marquez who is here. Thank you, Flor, for being here. And she's sending you lots of Reiki energy to you and to the whole audience, Mariah. So, yeah,
Thank you.
very nice. And I don't know who this is, but you are a rock star, Mariah Hudson. Nice, 13 people in. This is huge. Of course, it's huge. We believe that the transformation has just been unbelievable. If you don't want to come across as Facebook user, just click the and give StreamYard up above the video where it says StreamYard.com Facebook. Click there, and it gives them permission to use your name. And who's laughing out loud is Eden. Eden's here to support you, to say hello. So that was Eden. So you see, even the team leaders, a lot of people don't have never used a StreamYard, so they don't know. So, everything is a learning process for us, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So tell me, what do you, I want to ask you a personal question because you're a coach. What do you believe are the most important qualities or maybe characteristics or traits of that a successful coach should have?
Well, I think one of the first ones is being on camera
Okay.
and being confident is a learned skill. You don't just jump up and say, "Oh, I can do this today." You have to learn it. You have to put the pieces together
Okay.
and the people together to support you for that win.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to tell you, if you have a passion, if you're in a business and you know what it is you want to do and you just don't know how to do it, this is absolutely the perfect place. You will learn, you will be supported, you'll be trained, and all the pieces are there. And I don't know of any other place that has those options.
Thank you so very, very much, Mariah, for that. When she's saying here, she's talking about the Launch Lab program, and Eden says, yes, you have learned to take the pieces together, and one step after another, you have a complete puzzle. So we're all here behind you, supporting you, loving you. And Magda's right. Magda says it takes a village to make it happen. Thank you, Mariah, for being here for me and for us all the way. So, Mariah, if you had, we have so many members in the Wow Club that are hidden, that are afraid to even take the first step. what advice would you give these people who are perhaps waiting, just waiting and waiting and waiting and not moving?
Don't wait.
Right.
Don't wait. If you're in the WOW Club, you're there for a reason. There's something you want to do. And by experience, the longer that you wait, the more time you waste. If you got a passion and you don't know what to do, ask. Bring it to the Q&As.
Right.
Find out if you can do it. They'll help you.
Thank you. Of course, Mariah, your story is certainly a message of hope, and it inspires anybody who's stuck or who's struggling to take that first step, because we do know that the first step is always the hardest. We all know that, but it's also the most important. So I just wanted to talk out to those of you who are hiding, that when you take that first step, like Mariah, you're sending a message to the universe that you're ready to change your life, and you're telling yourself that you're capable of so much more than you ever thought possible. And I'm sure that Mariah feels this way, and really you're opening up the door to a whole new world of possibilities. And it's okay to be scared. It's okay to feel uncertain, but don't let that stop you. You see Mariah, please tell them to take the first step. And what's the first step to take for
Well, the first step to take is to ask for help.
that? Ask for help.
And remember, when you're taking the first step with this group, you're not jumping off the curb alone. You've got everybody's hands with you. You're doing it together as a group, and they will not let you fall. But you got to take the first step.
And you got to take the first step and ask. Thank you, because even though you take, and sometimes it's scary, you took the first step and it took you a while to take the next step, right?
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
so we understand how difficult it can be. So Mariah, if anybody wants to touch base with you, talk to you a little bit, to maybe find out a little bit more about how you did things, I have here in the tickler that they can message you. All right, you can contact Mariah Hudson by email, Mariah Hudson at earthlink.net. And I will put all of this information in the comment below the video, or you can direct message her. And that means you would go to her Facebook .com/Mariah Hudson, Mariah.Hudson, and you can click the word message and message her that way. It's so odd, because you and I, Mariah, talked about when people used to say DM me, and I used to say, what are they talking about? Or PM me, I don't think, what are they talking about? And you and I went through the same thing. We thought, it was all jargon. We had no idea what DM meant, direct
Yep.
message me, you know. So it simply means that you would go to Mariah's Facebook, and you would add her as a friend, of course, and then message her and contact her that way. But I will make sure that all that information is in the comment down below underneath this video. Mariah, I want you to have the last word, Don. Here, we're so proud. We as a team are so proud of you. I know all the members in the Launch Lab program were rooting for you, behind you, and you ended up being the team leader. You're the hero here. You have such
Well,
a wonderful transformational story that we will talk about it forever. What is your last
I
word?
think I
Well,
think that I would like to close with, we talk about the support of this group and the training and what's available. But when you get ready to leap over the ledge, you've already jumped and you're getting help. When you get ready to leap over the edge, like I was last week, it's because I have those people behind me, loving me and pushing me off the cliff. So again, you're not going to be alone. There is no alone in this group. And it's very safe. It's very safe.
and there is nobody left behind.
That's right.
Once you learn, once you're into the program, there's nobody left behind.
And
So,
that's the truth.
so I want to thank you, Mariah, so much for not only being being a WOW member, but being a Launch Lab program participant, and also wanting to go on with the program, and for being here and talking about your wonderful transformational story. And I also want to thank the audience today for being with us. Thank you. We appreciate the support always. And if you're the person hiding behind the veil and afraid to come out, you know, reach out to Mariah, reach out to me, and we will help you take that first step.
And jump. We'll catch you.
and, and jump. Right. Magda says the same thing, jump and grow wings on the way down.
Right.
Joanne Goyle says, I'm inspired by you, Mariah. And also Aiden says, and also Mariah Hudson, such an amazing team leader who, and Aiden is in charge of the teams here, so he knows what he's talking about. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and we will be back next week for another awesome interview, and we will see you then. Thank you, Mariah,
Thank you. I
and
enjoyed it.
thank you, everybody, joining us today. We're very thankful for your presence. Bye for now.
Bye.